We all have our favorite Pokémon for our own personal reasons. What many of you may not realize, though, is that these Pokémon are very often based on real-life animals. Yes, the inspiration for your favorite Pokémon had to come from somewhere, and many come from things already living in the world around you. 6 more Pokémon you didn't know were based on real-life creatures. 6. Caterpie, Eastern Tiger Swallowtail Caterpillar. It's hard to imagine that a cartoon creature could so closely resemble an actual living thing. But the similarities between these two are super obvious. With a name like Caterpie, it's no secret that the basis was a caterpillar. Not just any caterpillar, but specifically the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail Caterpillar. The green and black eye, the antennae, its bright green color, it's got all the same features of the caterpillar. Interestingly enough, the Eastern Swallowtail is actually blind. That black and yellow thing that looks like an eye is actually just marking on its skin. One major difference between Caterpie and the Eastern Swallowtail Caterpillar is that the Eastern Swallowtail will eventually become a butterfly, while the Caterpie becomes Metapod and then evolves into Butterfree, which is a Pokémon inspired by, you guessed it, a butterfly. Bug Bite, String Shot, and Tackle are some of Caterpie's notable battle moves. Number 5. Magikarp, Yellow-Eyed Rockfish. The yellow-eyed rockfish is not always just yellow. As a matter of fact, most of the time it's both yellow and red. And incidentally, it's often called the red snapper. The red snapper, or yellow-eyed rockfish, is usually found along the East Pacific. They don't normally live in places that are smooth and sandy. They often spend their entire lifetime near one specific pile of rocks. And their entire lifetime can be up to 120 years. Hopefully it's a really nice pile of rocks. Fishermen seek out yellow-eyed rockfish because of their large size and quality. And if you look in the fish section of your Pokédex, it's no surprise that that's where you'll find the Magikarp. All of the abilities of the Magikarp revolve around water. Some of them include Flail, Tackle, Splash, and Swift Swim. Say that 5 times fast. Number 4. Poliwag, Translucent Tadpole. It's common knowledge that the tadpole is just the younger stage of a frog. But in Costa Rica, they have a very unique type of tadpole called a translucent tadpole. You can actually see through their skin, meaning their internal organs are visible. That's right, you can even see their intestines from the outside. Also evident is the spiral on their stomachs, which is very similar to the Poliwag. So no, that little spiral is not just for design purposes. It's definitely based on this creature. And if you're flipping through your Pokédex, you'll find it in the tadpole section. Poliwag does have some newly grown legs, but it doesn't walk so well, so you'll always see it swimming. Because of this, all of the abilities of the Poliwag revolve around water. Some of its abilities include Rain Dance, Bubble, and Water Gun. Number 3. Drowsy, Malayan Tapir. Although it may look strange, the Malayan tapir is actually quite a kind creature. One thing's for certain, it makes for a rather odd-looking Pokémon. Also referred to as the Asian tapir, the lighter patch that covers its back and lower body make it easy to identify. If you take a closer look at Drowsy, you can see it also has a patch on its lower body. Tapirs also have white marks that line their ears. Their elephant-like trunks are another big resemblance between the Malayan tapir and the Drowsy. Drowsy likes to access people's dreams before eating them. Sounds weird. For that reason, Drowsy falls under the category of a hypnosis Pokémon. He's also able to confuse and hypnotize his opponents. To the best of our knowledge, these traits are not common in the Malayan tapir. Number 2. Vileplume, Rafflesia Arnoldii. It would be difficult to argue that the petals seen on Vileplume's head are not inspired by those on Rafflesia Arnoldii. If you've never heard of Rafflesia Arnoldii before, you're actually missing out. Known as the corpse flower, it's actually the largest recorded flower in existence. Why do they call it the corpse flower? It literally smells like decaying flesh. Many individuals describe it as unbearable. It's unclear whether the Vileplume actually possesses the same smell, but the flower itself can be found in Indonesia. This particular plant is thought to have been so inspirational that Pokemon creators also used it as the basis of Venusaur. Venusaur has a bulb on its back that is very similar in appearance. Number 1. Victreebel, pitcher plant. As terrifying as Victreebel is, the plant from which it is based is even more horrifying. It's called the pitcher plant, and it gains its reputation from the way it catches its prey. It releases a fluid which then lures insects inside. Once they become trapped, the plant drains the nutrients from the insect's body. The appearance of Victreebel can be described as odd and even angry, and his attack level is so high he's scary. Not surprisingly, he's a grass and poison Pokemon, and Venoshock, Solar Beam, Energy Ball, and Grass Knot are some of his notable abilities.